Who did God call to be the apostle to the Gentiles, to bring what was initially a message to the Jews to the rest of the world? A Pharisee. Remember the Pharisees? They don't care for Gentiles. They don't want to be near Gentiles. They don't want to eat with Gentiles. They don't want to touch Gentiles. Paul, the Gentile of the Gentiles, is called to be the apostle to the Gentiles. Pharisee of the Pharisees. Did I say the Gentile of the Gentiles? It's like, it's weird when I speak. It's like there's an echo in the back of my head, and I hear what I said 15 seconds ago, and when I heard that one, I went, wait, that's not right. He was a Jew of the Jews. He was a Pharisee of the Pharisees, fully committed to the law. And he's the one that God says, you're perfect to go spread the news to all the Gentiles. Oh, cool. You see, it's not about our earthly qualifications. What we say is, oh, that would make sense. Oh, yeah, since I did this in my life, that's what I should do. Maybe. Maybe because that's what you've done in your life, that's what God doesn't want you to do. It's all up to Him. It's all up to Him. Take it to Him. That's what Nehemiah did. Oh, man, they're saying bad things about us out there. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? A fox walking on this wall is going to make it fall down? Oh, who are they? They're so feeble, they can't do anything. Are they going to finish this? Does Nehemiah say, all right, come on, bring it on, buddy? No, he takes it to the Lord. He recognizes that it's an attack on the Lord's work, and he takes it to the Lord. That's the right place to go. Verse 7. Now it happened when Sanballat, Tobiah, the Arabs, the Ammonites, and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were being restored and the gaps were beginning to be closed, they became very angry. I skipped verse 6. We built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half its height, for the people had a mind to work. All right, so it's going. They're halfway up. Wow. So now these guys get mad because they see it's happening. In verse 8, and all of them conspired together to come and attack Jerusalem and create confusion. Nevertheless, we made our prayer to God, and because of them, we set a watch against them day and night. Then Judah said, the strength of the laborers is failing. There's so much rubbish. We're not able to build the wall. Man, we are tired. And our adversaries said, they will neither know nor see anything till we come into their midst and kill them and cause the work to cease. So it was when the Jews who dwelt near them came, and they told us 10 times, hey, from whatever place you turn, they're going to be upon you. Therefore I positioned men behind the lower parts of the wall, the openings, and I set the people according to their families, and with their swords and spears and bows. And I looked and arose, and said to the nobles, to the leaders, and the rest of the people, don't be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome, and fight for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your houses. What's the second attack of the enemy here in this story? An incitement to fear. Rattling of the sabers. Hey, we're big, we're bad, we got an army, we could jump over that short little wall you've got built so far. Like that, buddy. People coming in from all around. Do you know what they're doing out there? It doesn't matter where you look. They're coming from wherever direction you are. The people are going, man, I'm so tired. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. What's Nehemiah's response? Strengthen the weaker parts. He set them at the places where the wall was the lowest. What's that mean for us? When the enemy is coming against us all around and we're going, man, I'm so tired. I don't know if I can keep building the Lord's work in my life, in my heart. What do? Set the Lord at the weakest parts. Build up those weakest parts. Set a watch. Don't just go, well, Lord's just going to have to take care of this. No! Keep your eyes open. Watch and pray. Oh, man, I just have a real trouble with drugs. And, man, it's getting harder and harder to... I'm just so tired. So I'm going to go hang out with my old buddies I used to do drugs with, and maybe they can strengthen me. What? No, set a watch in those places. You know where you're weak. You know where the Lord will need to strengthen you from the attack of the enemy. You know where the enemy attacks. Strengthen that place. Depend upon the Lord. Set a watch there. And be equipped. Don't just set a watch to look. Be equipped. He put weapons in their hands. These were builders. These were perfume makers. These were goldsmiths. People who were gentle in nature. And now not only do you have them building a wall, you're putting weapons in their hand. Wow. Yeah. Weapons that were enough to scare the enemy into not attacking. How about that? What weapons would those be? Well, you can find it in Ephesians 6. You know it. The belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, shoes of the preparation of the gospel of peace, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, prayer. Those are our weapons. Those are the weapons that are mighty to the pulling down of strongholds that we talked about at the very beginning. Those are the weapons of our warfare. They're not carnal because you look at them on the outside and you go, what's that going to do? It's going to pull down the strongholds that are against you before they can even attack you. That's what they do. Stay equipped. Stay equipped. Verse 15, it happened when our enemies heard that it was known to us and that God had brought their plot to nothing, that all of us returned to the wall, everyone to his work. Keep at it. Keep at what the Lord has called you to do. So it was from that time on that half of my servants worked at construction, while the other half held the spears, the shields, the bows, and wore armor, and the leaders were behind all the house of Judah. And those who built on the wall and those who carried burdens loaded themselves, so that with one hand they worked at construction, and with the other held a weapon. And every one of the builders had his sword girded at his side as he built, and the one who sounded the trumpet was beside me. And I said to the nobles, the rulers, and the rest of the people, the work is great and extensive, and we're separated far from one another on the wall. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there. Our God will fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of the men held the spears from daybreak until the stars appeared. At the same time, I also said to the people, let each man and his servant stay at night in Jerusalem, so that they may be our guard by night and a working party by day. So neither I, my brethren, my servants. Verse 23, I got to tell you, in the Hebrew, according to the scholars, is one of the hardest to interpret. There are so many different interpretations of this because the language is difficult. So neither I, my brethren, my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me took off our clothes, except that everyone took them off for washing. I'm not sure that that was the best translation of the Hebrew there. I'm not sure I could do any better, but what do we care whether they kept their clothes on all the time, except they did take them off to, wash them. The language there is very difficult, and I don't know exactly what verse 23 is trying to tell us. But I can tell you what the rest of the passage is trying to tell us. What was the third way that the enemy could come against them? By them being separated from one another. How can the enemy come against you as a believer in Jesus Christ if you become separated from the family of God? The family of God? Yeah. Here's the family, guys. You can choose your friends. You can't choose your family. Okay? Here we are. We are your family. You're related to me whether you want to be or not. I'm that brother-in-law that you're going, oh man, do we have to invite him? Yeah, because he's family.